All right, can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I'm just gonna get on my phone and check my YouTube and my Facebook. Um, Live. Okay, yes, we are live on Facebook right now. On my YouTube, we are live.
Can you hear me better now? I just went to my earbuds.
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good. And now let me check Facebook just to be sure.
So I see it immediately. Boosted Solutions was the first thing. I just opened up my.
Yeah, we are live. Nice. Um, so if anybody is catching this right now, this is just a test for tomorrow night. We're trying out some new streaming software. Hopefully to make things a lot better, we're going to be able to stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. We're trying out some new streaming software. Hopefully to make things a lot better, we're going to be able to stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. We're trying out some new streaming software. Hopefully to
I
make
gotta
things a
figure
lot
out
better,
how
we're
to.
going to be able to stream to Facebook.
Okay. So, share. Just curiosity. Are you sharing it right now to your business page? Is it street? So basically, right now we need to share it over to the page, right?
Yeah, so if I were to go to my Facebook,
I was gonna share it just real fast, just to see how it looks.
okay, right to, yeah, and then I'll look at the page just to be sure. Um, go to the page right there.
Yeah. It's a
Okay, it's showing it.
yeah. That's not bad.
No,
I think we got that locked down.
yeah. And then, yeah, that should be just about perfect for tomorrow night, I would
Actually,
think.
no, it didn't. It shared your post. It didn't share the
Oh,
live.
it didn't share the actual live.
Let me share this. Actually, no, it didn't. It shared your post. I shared the wrong thing.
Oh, it didn't share the actual live. Oh, I see what you okay, shared my field
Well,
trip to.
that's the link I went through to get to the. So let's see.
Oh, I got you. There it is. Perfect. And then I could even, if I went to my Boosted Solutions live, then I could probably, where are we at here? I could probably, right, where are we at here? So, there it is. Then I could go here and I could edit post, and then I should, no, will it let me? Yeah, I can tag you in it.
So you'll be able on your end. You can see comments and stuff. I won't be able to see it. So like if I'm in this live, I'm gonna go to it right now. So
Okay, well that seems to be working. Should we hop off here so we don't annoy people?
yeah, I see Wyatt just hopped on there. We're just testing here, trying to get everything set up. We're using a new streaming app.
Oh yeah, you can bullshit with us if you want. We can stay on for a little bit if.
Wyatt's the one I was telling you about. We'd talked to. He's got a pretty sweet truck he's building. It's got ACES set up on it. Yeah, we're trying to get things set up. We're using a new streaming app and trying to figure out how to make these things happen so we know what we're doing for tomorrow.
Wish it would let me
Oh,
say.
there we go. I can see the Facebook comments over here now.
Oh, you can? Good deal.
Nice. That's what I was worried that I wouldn't be able to see anything.
Yeah. We're live. And we're live. Yeah.
So you back from Florida yet, Wyatt? You still down there? Oh man, I know this. I've had my butt kicked this week
Oh, okay.
and the whole weekend.
Perfect. Yeah, did you that post you accidentally shared, did you see that I got the idea with how HP tuners, how you can set it to lock up in third and not shift.
Yeah.
And do basically a dyno pool with HP tuners. So I did that with my car because I have a manual valve body and lockup switch. So I just got her up into third gear and locked it up and did a kind of like a dyno pool down the highway on a nice flat stretch.
Yeah, I literally, when I got on here live with you, the customer had just left. Like I was trying to get over here around 9 o'clock, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, that's how it goes, though. You know. What do you got going on tomorrow, work-wise?
Oh, I've got a tow truck still in here that we ended up having to pull the exhaust manifold and turbos on it. Should hopefully have parts tomorrow for it. I've got a Jeep that Eco Diesel I was telling you about. There's a vacuum solenoid. There's a vacuum pump on those, and a solenoid that controls the EGR valve.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's a lot of heat and stuff there. It's just little teeny tiny, probably I don't know, like 1/8 inch vacuum lines or smaller, and you have to pull those off to get the intake off. Man, just trying to get them off there, wiggling them around, they snap. One of them snapped. So
yeah,
it's all back together, but you can't run it without that being able to control that EGR. So it should be here like Tuesday. So it's literally going to take like 2 seconds to finish it, but it was supposed to go out Friday.
Play the waiting game.
Yeah, so it's always something. This week has been like, you go in there after one thing and you find more, and you want to fix it. Yep, go ahead. You know what I mean? While it's there, so you're, and it's just me here, so I am looking for some help. I mean, I'd like to. I honestly, I don't have enough room to support another technician until I get the shop built. So, I mean,
you need to start accepting applications now.
I mean, I would be happy just to find somebody, maybe want to work part-time, or even, somebody, possibly even a younger guy, vocational school, or somebody that wanted to
make a really good, summer job, co-op job, something for somebody, sophomore, junior, senior, doing like a vo-tech kind of thing or something.
Yeah, possibly somebody that's planning on going over to Ohio, Uno, or something like that. Do the mean, I do a lot, mainly diesel stuff, but I work on. I mean, I was working on a car stereo all weekend. Um, we do the fuel injection and all this stuff. Do the tuning. I do. I mean, I kind of pick and choose. I stay away from a lot of the front wheel drive cars and that stuff. I will do it for some people, but in
Yeah.
existing customers. But I really try to stay away from a lot of that stuff. Is it's sometimes it's easy work, but it's not what I've got tools for. It's not what I really
Right.
do. That's where I come from. I come from the automotive and then move toward the diesel trucks and stuff, and that keeps me pretty overwhelmed.
Oh,
I've
I
got a
believe.
1990 Ford out here, fire truck. It's got 20,000 miles on it. Big block Ford. Thing's cherry. The transmission's just gone in it. Pretty neat truck. Yeah, it's getting a transmission, so that's coming in. Then I've got a Ford. I've got a Ford truck out here that I need to get in and try to figure out what's going on with it. It's got some pretty crazy issues on a 7.3. So it's mainly diesel stuff. So I mean, if somebody wanted to learn and hang out, and I'd be willing to teach somebody, especially even a younger guy that maybe just has a desire for it, maybe not the experience. I can say,
Right.
hey, that knows how to, could turn a wrench and work a little bit independent. Be like, take this, and this off, and when you get to that point, come get me.
Yeah, showing this day and age, showing up for work's the main thing.
That's a lot of what I.
Show up and be willing to learn.
It's a good problem. I'm a little overwhelmed with it, but there's, I've been in a where you're standing around waiting for work. Like, man, I wish somebody called, need something done. So, the first
Yeah.
6 months there, I had, last year around November to the beginning of the year, from November to January, I was like, man, maybe I should have stayed at my job. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably a scary thing sometimes, when first breaking out like that.
yeah, and you're not getting a paycheck, and you don't have anybody calling. That's pretty scary. But
Yeah.
right now, I'm pretty well booked for the month. I mean, for sure.
Then by the end of this month, hopefully you'll be booked for the next month.
Well, hopefully I have a little bit of time. I need to get that boat in there. I got some of my own projects I need to get done too. But
Yeah, you need to definitely need to get that boat ripping.
I was planning on starting going and getting it and possibly starting that this weekend. But yeah, that's not happening. Hopefully this week I'll get unburied a little bit and free up some time. But I've lived in the shop this last week. I mean, it's been some
Hmm.
long hours. That's part of it.
Also, before we actually went live, I said about that TPS and map transfuels on the ACES
Mhm.
software. So what I found is actually that original 1D table that's all wonked up looking for TPS WOT threshold.
Mhm.
I was experimenting with that, like I told you, where I set every value to the same for throttle position. I ended up going back to that default table, and what I did was instead of having it all spiky, I smoothed it up, and then I actually I was having problems where it was just it was dumping too much fuel, and then when you let off the throttle, it would go rich as hell. And but no matter trying to get rid of that initial lean spot. So what I ended up doing was going back to that default table. I turned that trans fuel, I think, if I can pull that up, I think I ended up turning that down to like 150 and
Mhm.
uh, adjusting that.
So I was saying, I'm hearing guys talk about going to 400% on that, and that might be a short term fix, but
Threshold, like I said.
I think that you could get into problems there. That seems like a crazy high number that something else is
And
out
I
of
think
adjustment.
the reason I'm pretty well convinced that the reason people are ending up having to go that high is because they're not adjusting, they're not making a proper curve on the acceleration enrichment versus TPS table.
And that's what we were talking about the other day. I said,
Yeah.
something else needs to be adjusted because I can't imagine any parameter need to go from whatever the default. What's the default? 150 or something? I don't remember. Like from the Wizard.
Actually, the Wizard one on my car was like 50.
Was it 50?
Yeah, so 50 be like, the way the numbers work with aces is kind of screwed up compared to other stuff, but I would believe 50 to be
50% less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to mess around with it a little bit.
So
my kind of brain fried right now too. But
yeah, I know what you're saying.
Been one of them weeks, but yeah, I don't see any time. I mean, in my tuning experience through other platforms, I've never seen any reason that you need to go 400% on something without something else being out of whack. Something else is causing you to need to go overcompensate.
I have
Does
mine
it
up.
work? It probably does. It probably helps.
It does work, but then you have what you have is you're going if you're say you're going from idle to half throttle or whatever, quick snap. You're having that lean spot there that you're trying to account for by adding all that fuel. So what happens without changing that curve on the acceleration enrichment versus TPS table, then it's dumping so much fuel that it's accommodating that lean spot, but then when you let off the throttle, it's going extra rich. You have to get the curve right and the values right on that acceleration enrichment table, and then kind of start adding in that TPS fuel is where I'm at. I'm still messing around with it. I had my car out a little bit today. It's running pretty good, but it still needs a little bit of tweaking on them tables.
I guess the point I was trying to make with that is just, if I'm just saying, okay, you're on the Wizard, you really don't have your tune dialed in, you don't have the V table dialed in, and you're going in there, you've got that lean bog, it's running pretty good. It's the self-learn's kind of taking over. You're running pretty decent. You got your IX set, but you got that lean bog, and then I've seen it in multiple posts. Crank it to 400%, and they're like, "Oh, that really helped." But something, I would suspect that if you got a data log from that, it probably helped in some areas. But you may be up at 2,000 RPMs or 2,500 RPMs, and you go to roll in it on the roll into the throttle on the highway or accelerate, or maybe not where you're wide open throttle, but you're really, really loading the engine pretty hard. Is that going to go crazy the other way? I would just be curious to see a data log of one of those running down the road that's been, cranked to 400% for just and nothing else adjusted. It's got to be affected something pretty major.
Yeah. I ran mine.
I may be wrong on that too, but I've until I see a data log of it, I'm kind of hard to convince. You know what I mean?
You got to see a data.
Data means everything to me.
Yeah. But what I like to do too is, if someone's having a problem with the same system that I have, I like to go out and try to almost mimic that problem if I can, and figure out, what adjustments can be made on it. And when they first came out with that update, I like I said, I had that cranked up. I think I was all the way up at 700 at one point, 700% on that at one point.
Is there a cap on that thing? Would you just?
I think I was getting close to it. I can't remember what it's 850 maybe or something like that.
Okay.
But what and it was doing what I was saying it's doing because it's just it's just given too large of amount of fuel. So I the curve on that acceleration table is like a percentage of that percentage. I think is the way that is working, and so it gives it when you have that curve on that table, it's giving it that um, more or less at that certain throttle position, but overall the transfuel gain percentages dictating, how much of that, it is. But I sound like a politician trying to explain that.
It gets pretty technical. Like I said, I I would have to see a data log on crank, and I guess I will here soon. We'll see, and it may be different on when I
Give
get.
a shout out Lewis here that commented. He's the guy with that 69 International pickup that I've been tuning on.
Gotcha.
Turbo
Nice.
LS.
Yeah, those lean. I see some that lean bulb, and then it's out of there. It's rowdy after that.
Yeah,
Those lean bulbs can be tough to deal with, but I mean, I've not had a lot of major problems with that lean bulb once the tune is dialed in, your timing's dialed in, and I think less is more, and that's what just blows me away when I've heard people say, "Yeah, go to 400%." I'm like, that
and
don't
that's what we're
seem
getting
that
at.
just seems crazy.
That's where we're at with his right now. Is I'm not necessarily really touching any enrichment more so right now as I'm trying to get that VE dialed in before I go and try to give it too much acceleration enrichment.
Right.
Um,
I'd like to. I think the lean bulb problems in my brain for most people, as long as they're willing to work with you,
mhm.
is you can't make seven different adjustments and then try to figure out. You need to start creeping up on it, making some
Yeah,
adjustments, and
and
then
the
and
LS,
collecting that data to prove out that okay, when we're doing this, this is getting better, but it causes this down here or over here.
the
You
the
know.
jackpot software actually doesn't have those percentages. It has acceleration enrichment versus TPS, and then it has the WOT TPS in map threshold, but it actually doesn't have the percentages like the kill shot does. And they did it, in my opinion. Aces definitely did something right with that jackpot. Um, as far as the system, cost of the system, ease of installation, and how good you can actually get them to run, I definitely I definitely think Aces did well with that jackpot.
I think the two I haven't got. I've just had a customer send me a data log, or not data log, but a tune file on his. These we're talking about tuning possibly this next week, and I think with the more resolution, that's going to really make those things. The higher resolution in the new system is
Yeah,
going to really be good.
I did a few jackpot twos and a few kill shot twos, and that higher resolution really does help a lot.
Yeah, I've dealt with mostly the older ones and a lot of the fusions. I've done a lot of fusions.
But we
That's a
can,
pretty slick little kit too. It really is.
yeah, for if you're just a guy with you were doing a motor swap and you wanted to get something quick, easy, and simple
That you're
with that
basically just
TV.
popping your carb off and sticking that on. I
Yeah,
mean, you can't. They're pretty slick little deal. They still need tuning, but um,
I I'm not just saying this because I'm a tuner. I haven't ran across too many that don't need tuned.
they
Um,
all do. Every one of them.
they some some guys definitely have them to the point where they're 100% drivable without a tune with on the Wizard. Um, but the
Or
difference
the lean bogs and some of those things are ignorable. They're
the
not
difference
dying.
the difference between running it off that Wizard and a tune is absolutely worth the money you pay for a tune.
Right.
And just a background on me, when I first started with Aces, I did not tune Aces. I bought the kit, I put it on, and I actually had mine. I reached out for a remote tune, so that I'm not just saying that because I tune these now, but.
And he asked about the cam being a problem with lead bog. I mean, it can for sure.
Oh yeah,
because especially right off idle, when you got a big lumpy cam, your engine's efficiency down there at your idle RPMs, the ability to pull air, and they don't have as much vacuum. You really don't start, what they say, getting up on the cam. A lot of cams don't really start working until that the overlap and stuff that's in that cam where it actually starts moving air at a
it's all in the RPM range of the cam,
where the airflow starts to get steady state, where it really starts to come on, and that's where.
Yeah, if you look at your cam card, it has an operating RPM range, and what would you say? Right above that low RPM range is probably where that starts to smooth out at, wouldn't you say?
Oh, for sure, and most cams will.
You throw salt in on top of all that, it changes that as well.
Well, and with a TBI, so you got an engine that's really not making a whole lot of vacuum. It's not real efficient down there at idle. Realistically, anything under probably 2,000 RPMs, that engine's not real efficient. And you're trying to, those throttle blades open. There's an amount of time that it takes for that fuel to get from the top of the throttle blades to that cylinder, and the air is going to move faster than that raw fuel. It can. So it can be tougher to do for sure with a cam. That's no doubt about it. I mean, you could have a system that's running great and then pull that out, stick a different cam in it. You're going to totally be retuning it. And
the only difference between a TBI and a carburetor is tuning one with a screwdriver and tuning one with a computer. I mean, right. They both put fuel into the engine in the exact same way.
Very similar.
Actually, it'd be cool if it'd be kind of cool if a TBI came with a manual accelerator pump.
Well, it's electronically doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. It'd be easier for guys to tune for sure, I guess, right out of the box. I was reading this comment here.
Me too. Yeah, he keeps having this weird problem with when he comes into boost. His tires make this weird smoke. He can't figure it out.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I think we're only on. You can chime in, Lewis. I think we're only on revision 2, maybe. So there's plenty more to come with that.
I think the lean bog stuff is the hardest thing, probably.
Besides a cold start.
The cold starts I've really not fought too much. It's the lean bog can be pretty tough to fight.
I haven't fought. I really have not fought cold starts on a jackpot really whatsoever, but kill shots are a little different. That's where I wish I could teleport and be there in person on a cold morning.
Yeah. And you really, unless it's wintertime, you really only get one good cold start of the day,
Yep. Yeah, even if you do one in the morning and you come back, engine's still not as stone cold as it was after it sat overnight. Yeah, we're 20 degrees. Come on. You could have got some good cold start data off that. It was cold here this morning too. It was it was back down in the 30s, but then it warmed up probably 55 or 60 today. It was pretty nice. Yeah, we'll get that international ripping. Don't you worry about it. They're still super conservative on that timing as well, so there's plenty more to come with that. We just want to add it in slow. We don't need to see your piston go into the stratosphere.
Did you say was
uh,
small block or
check some of these comments.
can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. I was just looking and seeing if we missed any.
What engine's in that international? I know you probably said already, but
it's a 4.8, I believe, unless I'm mistaken.
With the jackpot on it?
Yep. Yeah, it has a jackpot 1 on it.
So you're losing me there for a second. I thought you were talking about see, you probably already said this. Like I said, it's been a week, man.
Paul's is starting good. We fought Paul's kill shot a little bit. Just different winter, how this winter went. He's down in Tennessee. Just how this winter went. He had some warm days, some cold days, some colder days, some warmer days, and just about there for a couple weeks. It seemed like every day he was starting it was a different temperature. So he commented on there about the battery voltage not being the same on the handheld as on his gauge, and he put some extra ground straps on, and I did it much? I did a revision on it yesterday, and he said it's running a hell of a lot better than it was. So.
How much was it? You seeing like a volt or two, or were you seeing quite a bit of difference?
I think he was seeing almost a 2-volt drop. I think he was reading 14.1 on his gauge, and sometimes 12, as low as 12.5 on his handheld, I think.
Those grounds do make a huge difference, and the size of wire too. That always helps. I've seen guys run every ground that they have all to the same spot. You take like a bell housing bolt, and everything's grounded there.
Yeah.
From the battery to the bell housing bolt, from the bell housing bolt, going to their injector harnesses, everything's grounded there, to their fuel pump, their lights, everything. The whole truck it's like, well, I want to keep the wiring clean. Yeah, I get you want to keep it clean, but if everything's running through one 8-gauge wire, and let's face it, if you buy one of those at O'Reilly and AutoZone, the ones on the shelf that already have the pre-made ends on them, that wire, if you cut the coating, it's got a pretty heavy coating on it, but there's not a lot of wire there.
No, and it's probably actually copper-clad aluminum. It's probably not.
I'm pretty confident it's not heavy enough. It's not heavy enough to be OFC.
I didn't know a lot about like actual wires and stuff, and at one time I had ran a bunch of that copper-clad aluminum, and I ended up reading about it, and I swapped back over to pure copper wire, and the difference was astounding.
It is.
Things worked faster, better voltage, brighter lights. I'll never run that crap again.
It's quite a bit more expensive, but I mean, you can look up those wires, and a lot of them, let's face it, I'm sure a lot of it's made over Asia somewhere. But most wires, if you look up like the ampacity of the wire, what that wire will carry per foot or whatever, and copper-clad aluminum versus oxygen-free copper is huge. There's a huge difference in.
That's another good point, talking about wires, plug wires too. The ohm rating on plug wires. That's a good thing to watch for when you're buying plug wires. Because they're anywhere from what I think I've seen them as low. The ones I just got are 40 ohm resistance, and I saw them on there up to 500 ohm resistance.
Well, I think
500 ohms, probably more so a solid core wire, I would
But you
say.
take some of that wire, the a oxygen free copper of, let's say, an 8 gauge wire, to carry that current, the resistance in that wire to carry that same amount of current or its ability to, you may have in a CCA or copper coated aluminum, copper
Mhm.
clad, you may need to go to a 1.0,
Yeah,
a 0 gauge or wire to 1.0 to carry what a 4 gauge wire could possibly carry, especially the longer the run. CCA is not bad if you were making maybe a short run.
right.
And underneath the hood, temperature is kind of a
Yeah,
problem with that stuff too. It seems like, I think that, and I think if you go look at those charts, they're rated in, what the ampacity is per foot, but it also, there's temperatures there. So the higher the temperature, it loses or has more resistance. So it loses its ability to carry. If it's rated for 300 amps at 200 degrees, it may only be rated for
right.
200 amps, whatever,
Yeah,
that changes where copper or the oxygen free copper doesn't have as much. There is a change with temperature, but not nearly as much.
not as drastic yet. Probably handles a lot more heat. That's all the grounds on I made. I had just over the years, uh, I bought. I have 3 different welders. Plus, I had I had my own lead when I used to weld, and I had a bunch of big, heavy duty copper welding leads laying around. I ended up making my all my grounds out of 0 gauge welding lead.
Yeah, yeah,
What did that work great? Better than having to buy it.
yeah. It's expensive. It is pricey, but I think long term it's worth it because you don't have to question it as much. You don't have to be like, man, is that causing my voltage drop? I mean, seeing, especially like you're talking about, Paul seeing 2 volts across from his battery voltage, with the multimeter tested it there versus what the handheld's reading. I would only assume that thing, the ECM has a pretty good voltage sense in it. If there's that much across what the ECM seeing, definitely a problem.
Yeah,
I mean, it should be. I mean, We're talking point two. Maybe you shouldn't be seeing maybe up to half a volt, but you shouldn't be seeing 2 volts. There's something else causing a problem there.
yeah. I believe he said that those grounds fixed it. I'm not sure if they fixed it completely, but he did say adding those grounds really helped matters.
You can never have too many grounds. I mean, it may be ugly,
No,
but in my opinion, I don't think you could ever have too many or too big or too heavy a cable. Or I'm sure there's a point where there's diminishing returns on it, but
I did. I'll tell you. I mean, I did. This is back whenever I was an idiot. Well, I still am, but my guy at work was selling a Cadillac with a 4.8 North Star V8. I think I told you this story, and it had an overheating issue. And those things are known for head gaskets. I said, well, what do you give me it for? He gave me a good deal on it, so I bought it. My buddy's like, oh, we could put head gaskets in that, no problem. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, we can do it, So we took on that job, whatever, and went through hell changing them head gaskets with the engine in the car, and got everything back together, got it fired up. It kept shutting off. Fire up, shut off. Fire up, shut off. Fire up, shut off. There was some stupid little module on the front of that car, like over by the radiator, that bolted on to the core support and grounded there. And
through
I
the
forgot
body of it.
Yeah, and I forgot to bolt that back up, and that caused all that. Bolted that back up, no problem since. Well, I don't have the car anymore. I ended up selling it, trying to get a little bit of my money back out of it. But
since we got a few people in here, we're going to have to probably hop off here soon. But
Yeah, it's 20 after 10 almost. And this was supposed to be just a test.
yeah, we're just testing stuff, but I haven't had dinner or anything. But anyway,
Any new upgrade to the Kill Shot 1? No. Other than handheld update and ECU update. If you don't have the current one, go to acesefi.com under support, and you can download those updates. Anyway.
But should we do? We'll definitely be on here tomorrow night. We got a couple things we're gonna
tomorrow night.
I got some things I want to talk about tomorrow, and I'm sure you'll come up with some
tomorrow night. Tune in with us. This is great just for a test. I hope all you guys come on tomorrow night, and I hope more people come on. Ask any.
I'd like to bring some people on with us. Talk about their stuff.
I'd like to bring. I'd like to bring Lewis on sometime. I really want him to show off that truck. I love that thing.
Yeah, if they're willing to come on, man, that'd be cool. I'd love to check it out too.
And I'm ready to hop off here. I got to get up early in the morning. And Brian asked if they got us on the authorized list yet. No, they have not. We're just the unauthorized outcasts.
Well, actually, I guess I was, and then between the time of talking to the gentleman to like 2 days later, it was on Facebook that he was no longer with the company. So I don't know whatever happened. I called and emailed, and I've never heard anything back. So it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I'm gonna be tuning either way. So it is what it is. But I think they've had a lot of manpower changeover and some things happen.
Honestly, I'd like to be honest. I filled out the paperwork, and just like you said, I was on the phone with Tim too before he left, and we had a good conversation and everything. But I think, like you said, things just kind of all happened at once, and maybe we got forgot about or something. So
I talked to him on like a Wednesday, and then we did a call on Friday. We talked for probably about 2 or 3 hours, and then he's like, "Yeah, he said, we'll have our onboarding team reach out to you. We're going to get some information, and we'll get you up on our website and all that." And then 2 days later, well, it was probably by like Monday or something, I see people, "Hey, is Tim no longer with Aces?" So I don't know what happened there, and it ain't really any of my business,
No, life changes, things change. You said they're creating a process for it. Well, that's good. I'm kind of hoping they reach out or something.
I actually spoke with Tim the other day. He seems like he's doing pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
I talked to him through Messenger. We spoke, but yeah, he seems like he's doing pretty good.
That's good.
Said he's living by the beach, and
he's just living life.
Bikes and airplanes. So he seemed like a good dude. He really did. I enjoyed talking to him. He's pretty knowledgeable guy.
I did too. He had some crazy story. He told me a lot of not crazy but cool stories, just different things that he had done in the past with tune in and going to the track and drift stuff and airplanes and all that stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. It was really interesting to listen to him.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that, man. Brian's a solid dude. He's one of their.
Yeah, Bryant's commenting here. He's one of the main authorized tuners for Aces EFI. He is actually the tuner that I reached out to when I first got into Aces to remote tune my car, and then that got the bug in me, and that's where I'm at. So
right. Yeah, I enjoy it, man. I enjoy the community. I enjoy doing it. I mean, this is obviously not my full-time job, but
I'm trying to make it my full-time job one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you never know. You never know what might happen. But I'm a gearhead. I've always been. I love the tuning. I'll be honest with you. I got tired with like the HP tuner stuff. We were doing cam swaps. We were doing that anytime we needed to do a tune. You're buying email tunes, and if anybody's bought an email tune from any of these big name companies, whether it's, I'm not even gonna say any of them, it's pretty much, from what I've seen, about $700 to $1,200, depending on
Yep.
your application, and a lot of them are not great. And
Yes,
then
it was, Bryant. Yeah.
and then they'll say, well, do a data log, and you'll data log it and you'll send it to them. And those guys, I'm sure, are overwhelmed, but it's 2 or 3 days. You get a response. Here's a revision. So for me, if you've got a customer's vehicle and you've just done a bit, you've done a big cam swap, you've done all this, and next thing you know, you're sending out a data log. At that rate, if you need 2 or 3 revisions and it takes 2 or 3 days in between, my God, you need the customer's vehicle for a week to try to get the thing,
Well,
just tune in. And that's when I was like, man, I can't handle this. I can't handle, you got the customer calling, hey, when's that thing going to be ready? Well, we're still waiting on the tuner to drop us an email, and you don't even know if they respond to it. You'd send them an
mhm.
email, here's data log, and there was no response. I'm like, you paid $1,200 for tuning that
The
at some
problem
point
I
you hope.
ran into with
So I
you
started
know
tuning myself. I just said, screw it.
yeah,
I'm gonna learn how to do it myself. I'm
the problem
with
I
the
ran
HP tuners.
into with see you, Bryant. Have a good one. What I ran into with HP tuners was just me being a smaller business. The bigger ones, they have the dongles and stuff that they send out, and my biggest issue was somebody would reach out to me wanting tune, but they didn't have HP tuners. So especially on an LS, an older like a Gen 3 or even a Gen 4 LS, you're gonna have $400 in the dongle. You're gonna have $100 in credits at least. So you're $500 in on that with a factory ECU, and you can get a jackpot or something from Aces for what, $1,200
Right.
for a
This
higher
is
end.
something I was kind of wanting to touch on. We kind of remember that. I wanted to touch a little bit on this tomorrow. This is what I was going to talk about. What I had on my mind of, but we'll touch a little more on that, the factory ECU versus the standalones out there. Don't let me forget tomorrow. That's kind of what I want to talk about.
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah, we might as well hop off here. I think pretty much everybody else did. Bryant said he was leaving, and nobody else is really commenting. So we'll leave the rest for tomorrow night.
but yeah, don't let me forget that. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about. But
Yeah,
and
that's
give
that's
my
definitely a good thing
2 cents
to
on
talk.
whether anybody wants it or not. Yeah, so you got Josh asked for. Yeah, heck yeah, Josh.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
yeah. If we reach
Just
out
let
to
us
one
know
of
when
us,
you're around.
and we can make some time for it. We only have our Monday night streams. We have it listed for an hour, but if we start getting into some good conversation and getting some good rides and everything else, then we can definitely go longer as long as our schedules can accommodate it.
Right. But definitely like check some of these builds out, man. Everybody's got some cool stuff, and
Yeah,
usually there's pretty good stories to go along with them things too. So, but
yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
I'm gonna have to hop off here too, man. It's time for me
Yeah,
to get off my feet for a few hours before I got to do it all over again. My boss will be cracking the whip.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, tune in tomorrow night with us. We're gonna do the same exact thing we're doing right now tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and bring your questions, bring your rides, whatever. It might take us a second to try to figure out how to add
Yeah, we're still
another.
learning this part.
Yeah, we're still kind of learning this system, but we got this far, so we can figure that out too. So I'm gonna end it with that. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow night.
Right on. You staying on here?